It was the day Emeka never came back. Mama Emeka sat by the door waiting for her son. The sun had set hours ago, and the cool night air filled the village of Agucha. Emeka had always returned before dark, but tonight something was wrong. Her heart pounded, and she whispered to herself, "Where is my boy?" She knew where she had sent him, to the forbidden river, deep in the evil forest, a place where no one was supposed to go. She never meant for things to go this far. Before we dive deeper into this chilling story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Click the bell icon to stay updated. Now, let's continue. Mama Emeka had always been a hard worker. Every morning she would wake up long before the sun rose, her back aching from the years spent making Agidi jollof. She had been selling this special dish in the village for as long as anyone could remember, but no one seemed to like it. Day after day, she would pack her pots and take them to the market, hoping to sell just one or two. But each evening, she would return home with most of it unsold. Her children would sit at the table, tired and hungry. She would give them the unsold Agidi or throw the rest away, her heart heavy with disappointment. She thought about quitting many times, but what else could she do? This was the only way she knew how to make a living. One evening, exhausted after another long day of failure, Mama Emeka called her son, Emeka, and told him to go fetch water from the stream for the next morning's batch of Agidi jollof. But Emeka, being a curious and playful boy, didn't go to the usual stream. He wandered off and unknowingly fetched water from the forbidden river, deep inside the evil forest. The forbidden river was a place no one dared visit. It was said to be cursed, filled with spirits that could bring misfortune to anyone who disturbed them. But young Emeka, innocent and unaware, filled his pot with water from the river and returned home. The next morning, Mama Emeka began preparing her Agidi jollof using the water her son had brought. She went through the same routine she had done for years. But when she reached the market later that day, something strange happened. People began flocking to her stall. One by one, they tasted her Agidi and immediately came back for more. Word spread fast, and soon a large crowd had gathered around her. Before noon, every single piece of Agidi was sold. Mama Emeka could hardly believe it. She rushed home, her heart racing with excitement. For the first time in her life, she had sold everything. She felt alive, like the weight of years of failure had lifted from her shoulders. She was no longer the woman whose Agidi no one wanted. She was Mama Emeka, the one the villagers loved her Agidi jollof and bought everything. The next day, she sent Emeka to fetch more water. Playfully and unknowingly, he returned to the forbidden river again. And again, the Agidi sold out. Day after day, this pattern continued. The villagers couldn't get enough of Mama Emeka's Agidi jollof. But there were strange signs that no one could understand. Each time Emeka brought the water from the forbidden river, the village dogs would start howling. Birds would suddenly take flight from the trees, as if something unseen had disturbed them. When Mama Emeka made the Agidi, a strange, sweet smell would fill the air, drifting through the marketplace. People would shiver as they walked by, but they didn't know why. One evening, Emeka returned earlier than usual with the water. "Why are you back so soon?" Mama Emeka asked, her voice full of suspicion. "I went to the forbidden river, the one in the evil forest. It is closer to me than the other river," Emeka replied innocently. Mama Emeka froze. Her hands trembled. "The forbidden river? You can't go there. It's dangerous." But then she thought about it. Was it possible that the forbidden water was the reason her Agidi was now so popular? Could it be that the cursed river held some kind of power? That night she lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The thought haunted her. Finally, she decided to test her theory. The next morning, she fetched water from the regular stream instead of sending Emeka to the forbidden river. She made her Agidi jollof as usual and took it to the market. Nobody came back for more. Her heart sank. She knew then that it was true. The forbidden water had been making her Agidi irresistible. It was wrong, she knew that. The village elders had always warned that the evil forest and its river were cursed, but now that she had tasted success, how could she go back? From that day on, she told Emeka to sneak to the forbidden river every morning. "Don't tell anyone," she whispered, fear creeping into her voice. "This will be our secret." And so they continued. Every day, the Agidi jollof sold out. Every day, more money flowed into their home. But the signs of something terrible lurking in the village grew stronger. Goats and chickens started dying for no reason. Crops began to wither. And worst of all, children started getting sick. Fevers swept through the village, and no one could find a cure. People began to disappear, men and women who went to the farm and never returned. The villagers were terrified. They went to the king, begging him to find out what was causing all these misfortunes. The king called for the chief priest, who consulted the gods. "The land has been defiled," the chief priest said. "Someone has broken the sacred laws. If this evil is not stopped, more suffering will come." All the while, Mama Emeka's business was booming. She could see the fear in the villagers' eyes, but she convinced herself that it had nothing to do with her. She didn't want to believe that her success was tied to the villagers' suffering. But deep down she knew. Then, one day, she sent Emeka to fetch water from the forbidden river. Hours passed, and Emeka did not return. Mama Emeka waited, pacing back and forth, her heart filled with dread. By nightfall, she knew something terrible had happened. She ran to the king's palace, tears streaming down her face, and confessed everything. "The water, the forbidden river. It's my fault," she cried. "I've been using it to make the Agidi jollof," she sobbed. "I didn't know it would come to this. Please help me find my son." The village erupted in anger. The king was furious at Mama Emeka's deception. He ordered the chief priest to cleanse the land. The gods demanded a heavy price. Mama Emeka and her children were banished to the evil forest, never to return. As soon as she left, the sickness disappeared, and the missing villagers returned, dazed but alive. The village animals no longer died, and the crops began to grow again. Agucha had been saved, but the villagers would never forget the price they had paid. The people of Agucha never went close to the forbidden river, and the story was told by the elders in the village fire to avoid any child making the same mistake Emeka made. Moral of the story: shortcuts to success come with a price. Mama Emeka's greed led her to defile the sacred laws, and in the end, it cost her everything. When we ignore the consequences of our actions, the damage can reach far beyond what we ever intended. The end. Thanks for watching. Did you enjoy the video? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. See you next time.